Sports Radio 1400 WKAV. Good morning, and I think it's time we get this guy back on. I said, hey, E3 happened a couple weeks ago. Now we got to get him on. Now there's time to talk about it. Got to get him on. His name is Christian McLeod with OperationSports.com. He went to E3. I'm so jealous. We have much to discuss. So first off, Christian, how you doing, and how's the new baby doing?
I am doing well, Mark. Thanks as always for having me. The new baby is doing well. Just got home yesterday, so just adjusting to life with a newborn.
And it's Liam. Is that his name?
Yes. Yep. Oh. Liam McLeod.
Oh, man. Liam, what is it? Liam McGallagher? Is that his name from Oasis? Is that what it was?
Yeah, yep. So, it's a nice, strong Irish name. I married an Irish lady, so nice, strong Irish name.
No, it's a beautiful name. And, yeah, congratulations. I know it's your first son, so congratulations.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Now, if people don't know what E3 is, that's the big expo out in L.A. for all the video games they hype for the next coming year. Okay, initial thoughts. How awesome was it going to E3 this year?
It was great. There were some amazing games out on the show floor. I think, honestly, it was probably the best sports gaming year there has been in a while at E3. In addition to that, there were some real big budget titles like Uncharted 3, Gears of War 3, Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare 3. So definitely a huge year for video gaming on its way here.
And what were some of the big games? I mean, were they highlighting Madden or was NCAA? I mean, what was the big sports game that really stuck out for you?
The big sports game for me, and I named it my E3 Sports Game of the Year, was Madden. Madden looks amazing this year. They kind of went back to the drawing board. Brand new presentation elements, looks like you're watching a game on Fox or CBS from the standpoint of the camera angles and the cuts. Huge graphical upgrades. Player collision looks great. No more warping into tackles and blocks. Just plays a great game of football. I was really blown away. FIFA Soccer, if you're a soccer fan, was looking outstanding. They added a new collision engine into the game, as well as NHL, if you're a hockey fan. Great looking game so far, and as well as NCAA football was looking pretty sweet. So even saw some of the new NBA game, NBA 2K12, as a behind closed doors type of deal, but it's looking good so far.
Sports Radio 1400 WKV. Yeah, we're here with Christian McLeod from OperationSports.com talking sports video games that debuted at E3 a couple of weeks ago. And, you're talking football with Madden, that's the impressive one, but also doesn't NCAA football come out in the next couple of weeks?
Yep, it comes out on July the 12th, so really only a couple weeks away, and the demo comes out this week as well. So for Xbox and PSN users or PlayStation 3 users, you're going to be able to get your hands on some initial gameplay on NCAA this week.
And are there any big, like you're saying, Madden's going to get the overhauled presentation, anything really to look out for if you're an NCAA fan?
NCAA 11, so last year's game was pretty highly regarded amongst the gaming community. There were a few quirks. This year's version is really a tweaked version of last year's. They added a lot more presentation elements from the standpoint of authentic entrances. You're now going to see Bevo down on the field if you're a Texas fan, and Chief Osceola if you're a Florida State fan. So you've got all those authentic, college ambiance out there on the field. They tightened the gameplay up as well. Like I said, it feels like a very polished, refined version of last year's game. Less warp, suction tackling, and just plays a good game of football. But the main thing that they focused on this year, aside from the tackling animations, was the new traditions for each college.
Now, Liam's dad, I want to ask you this. This is the big question because you're a dad now. I got to laugh when I say that. Is Andrew Luck going to be like 100 rating in this game? What's going to happen?
Andrew Luck should be 150 rating. I think we were all completely blown away that he decided to go back to school after, he would unanimously be the number one pick in the draft this year if he had come out. So he's going to be amazing. I can see a lot of people using Stanford and just dominating with him.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Thinking about last year's game, was Cam Newton even good in the game? That's what I'm confused on, because who even knew who he was when they probably made the game last year?
Well, see, that was one of the big quirks about NCAA 11. It wasn't just Cam Newton, but for some reason in that game, mobile quarterbacks weren't mobile. They just didn't have any type of agility rating outside of the pocket or speed that they'd take off and run. So if you're using Auburn, Auburn definitely wasn't as dynamic as they were in real life, and Cam was the same. So I know a lot of SEC Auburn fans were pretty upset about that.
We're here with Christian McLeod talking sports video games. He writes OperationSports.com. Great website for sports video games, and I know he's a big Lions fan for football. I want to ask you this. Is there some Kobe Bryant, like you're going to use the Nintendo Wii or the PlayStation Move to play basketball? I mean, what was that exactly?
That was a disaster. I think Sony at this point is really grasping for straws with their Move device, which is their motion controller, and they're trying to integrate it into sports games. And the problem is that it just the tech demo that they showed off at E3 wasn't really intuitive to what you think a motion controller for basketball gaming would be. You basically just point the motion controller at the player you want to pass to and press a couple buttons. So it's not even like you're mimicking a shot or a pass with your motion controller. So definitely, I think for maybe more casual sports gamers out there, it'll be a hit. But for the more hardcore, I think they're going to stick to the traditional controller.
Well, honestly, Christian, it's the second generation Power Glove. That's what I feel like. It just doesn't work after a while. No,
it's a great idea in theory, and the Wii definitely has some great titles like Wii Bowling and some of the Wii Sports Resort games. But for the hardcore sports fan, I just can't see it ever catching on.
All right, let me ask you this. Brought up a good point. The Nintendo Wii. Okay, what is the Nintendo Wii 2? Is this like an iPad? What is this, in case our listeners don't understand what it is?
Well, the Wii U, as it is called, it is basically a new system. So it's going to push out HD high-definition graphics on the same level as the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. But what it comes with is a controller that is essentially a touchscreen controller. So if you would think, if you were to take a controller and mix it with an iPad, that would be your controller. So you're going to be able to do things like, for example, in Madden, call your plays or draw up a play on the touchscreen iPad type of interface, and then control your players, using the analog sticks that are on it. So it's definitely got some promise. I know for games like they were showing off a Zelda tech demo, you hold up that iPad or that controller up to the screen and you can aim Link's bow and arrow with it, and it's got some very cool features to it. But again, it's very gimmicky, and I just don't see how it's going to really catch on mainstream for hardcore gamers.
And it turns into a Game Boy, right, where you don't even need a TV to play it.
Well, here's the thing. As long as your system is actually on, you can have someone at your house turn the channel on the TV, and instantly the feed that was on the TV will go to the Wii U controller. But it's not like a Game Boy from the sense where you can just take it anywhere on a trip and play your games. You still have to be within the radius, from what I understand, of your TV with your system turned on, which is kind of a bummer.
Oh, man. Look, I'm just in shock. I don't look. Sports Radio 1400. We're here with Christian McLeod from OperationSports.com. We're talking about E3. He went to the event a couple weeks ago. He's on the show talking about it. Is it kind of like, it's funny with the original Wii where everyone thought it was really cool and everyone had Wii Sports, and then there's no games after that? I mean, is that what this is going to be as well? They're going to have something at the launch, and then there's nothing for the next 5 years? Is it the same thing?
Well, Nintendo made a huge push at the show to point out that they have third-party support for this unit. So they had EA's boss get up there and say that EA is fully behind this. Konami's boss, it seems like there's definitely third-party support out there. The problem that I have with it is, again, the graphics on the system are the equivalent of an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3. And even if the Wii U were to release today against those other consoles, it might be adding some really cool motion controls and, that iPad-type interface. But like you said, Mark, after a few months of playing around with games that are, on all three systems, I can't really see anything that's going to jump out and say, I need to buy this Wii U and play on Wii U just to have maybe a mini game or to draw my plays up at Madden. It's just not a system seller. I didn't see anything in that system that made me say, I need to go out and buy this thing right now. And I'm a huge Nintendo fan, so I was very bummed out.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when I'm looking at some of like the Kinect games coming out, and what I don't understand is it's like when you play Madden football, it looks like they're trying to make the controls better, the graphics better, everything overall better with better graphics and everything, the better presentation. But then when I watch Kinect or these Wii stuff, I was like, why do we have graphics from 10 years ago? What is going on here?
I don't know. They I think they're trying to appeal more towards a casual audience with the motion controls. I think that the mainstream gamer or the hardcore sports gamer that visits our site just shun the motion controls from the very beginning, so maybe they've just written them off completely and gone for that family audience. But I'm with you 100%. I somewhat wish that they could integrate really good motion controls into a really good-looking, authentic sports simulation. It has to be able to be done.
Yeah, it's insane. Sports Radio 1400 WKV. Now, I want you to know this. We're here with Christian McLeod. I posted this on Facebook the minute I saw it. I wanted to know what it was like in person. When you saw the Halo 4 trailer, what was that like? I have to know.
I was pretty excited. I'm a Halo guy. I really wasn't a huge fan of Halo Reach that came out, but I liked Halo 1 through Halo 3. And definitely was not expecting Halo to come back. So I'm excited for it, but then on the other hand, Halo 3 was such a good experience for me, and I kind of put Master Chief to bed after Halo 3. I'm just hoping that Microsoft isn't jumping the shark on this one and shoving more Halo down our throats that's not quality Halo.
Well, it's like this just in, like a sports update. This just in, don't have the flood. That's all I ask.
Yes, worst parts of the game ever. Just you moving along through the game, then you hit those flood sections, and boy, that was painful.
Yeah. All right, so what was best of show? I know you were kind of saying Madden. Overall, what was your best game you saw there?
Overall, best of show. I would say, and I'm kind of burnt out on first-person shooters. Mm-hmm. From what I saw from Battlefield 3, it blew me away. From the graphics to the engine where every piece of the landscape is destructible, that game is beautiful, and I think it's going to be huge. I guess my runner-up would be Gears of War 3. I'm always a big fan of the Gears series, and just the co-op elements that they added to it, it's just going to be a blast. So those were my two favorite games that I saw on the entire show. And
is there a worst game you have of the show?
Ooh, oh boy. Worst game of the show. Well, there were definitely some stinkers out there, but I guess the game that I was most disappointed in was Modern Warfare 3. I like the Call of Duty franchise, but it's been done.
Huh? I thought maybe you'd say the Kobe game, but I find that interesting.
No. The Kobe, that move interface is just a portion of NBA 2K12. So I saw, like I said, behind closed doors, some NBA 2K12. It's looking very, very good, but the move interface in it is pretty poor. So that'd be my worst game mode, I think, that I saw at the show.
We're here with Christian McLeod talking video game sports. He went to E3 a couple weeks ago. I just want you to know, if they asked me, I want to know your thoughts. If they asked me, what would you want better in NBA 2K12? I'd say, can I hit a shot? That's what I would ask them. Can you let me just hit a bucket once in a while? That is the hardest game to score in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they've added a lot of really authentic options in there. You can play the game, from arcade type style to simulation style. And I'm with you. I love that game. I have a great time with it. But when you start bumping it up to the harder difficulties, boy, it can get real sticky to score, and you got to run authentic plays and rub off screens and whatnot. So great game, but I hear you. So 2K12, it looks to really be solving some of those issues from what we saw. Looks like there's a lot of new animations, a little easier to get to the hole. So we'll see. Hopefully that remedies it for you, Mark.
All right. Let me finish with this then. Okay, I got to ask the question. All right. What were the chicks like? Because I know it's legendary to see them in person. The floor models, what was it like in person to see them?
I have no comment. No, I'm kidding. Just don't let my wife hear this. But no, it was pretty cool. You hear about the booth babes, the legendary booth babes at E3, and let's just say that it definitely did not disappoint. It was pretty cool to see. I'll leave it at that.
I'm going to tell you something. I do this segment called Hellcat of the Week, okay? Like the hot chick of the day, all right?
Yep.
And I nominated the video game woman with IGN. I think she was G4 TV now. Her name's Jessica Chomat. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yep, Chomat. Yep.
Did you see her in person?
I did not. I did not. I saw her crew, but I didn't see her.
She comes in a limo. Is that what it is?
I saw her entourage, but not her.
She comes in an armored car like she's President Obama to the E3 event. Christian, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for discussing this with us. And hey, enjoy your new son. That's awesome, man.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.